John, have I got the timings right? It starts today at noon, is that right?
That's right. The first drivers won't be reporting for duty for 48 hours from 12 noon today onwards, right through to Friday, and then again for the night tube on Friday night.
So effectively, service won't really be back on track probably until Sunday or Monday, is that right?
Basically going into the weekend, yes. Regrettably so, yeah.
All right. What's it about, John Leach?
OK, well, this is the message the people of London and the Piccadilly Line need to hear. From last summer onwards, we've been trying to fix things on the Piccadilly Line for our members. Hundreds of drivers on the Piccadilly Line and the RMT, men and women, professional railway operators, being pushed to the limit.
What do you mean by push to the... What do you mean push to the limit?
OK, I'm going to explain to you, because it's really important we get our message across here. So these clapped-out old trains are being worked into the ground by a management that are totally and utterly remote from the main task at hand, which is supporting the staff that deliver the railway. Mm-hmm. In actual fact, they run it the opposite way. They run it like some kind of sweatshop workhouse where people are, believe it or not, in this day and age, treated in ways in which you couldn't quite imagine. So, for example, people being hauled in over attendance issues when they're actually not off sick. Been called into meetings like that.
When they're not off sick? Do you mean when they're off sick?
Yeah,
right.
So what they're doing, they're scrutinising people's past records, laying down the law, and pushing them around. Other things, so line control. Obviously they've got to have a system to better issue commands and controls to drivers, but all of our agreements and arrangements for managing the staff are being pushed to the limit. And what's actually happened is, because you remember we suspended a strike back in the summer, was the company, London Underground, gave us a written commitment on all these issues. They signed the letter. But no sooner had that strike been suspended in good faith that they might as well have ripped it up and burnt it.
But all I'm hearing so far, Mr. Leach, is that I appreciate they might be doing it in a rather heavy-handed way, but they're scrutinising attendance records.
No. I don't mind them scrutinising attendance records of staff who are off sick. This is just laying down the law, heavy manners on people who actually are coming to work. Right. And the reality is over 500 drivers won't be coming to work for 2 days this week, losing salary, not for a penny in this for them, because they are absolutely sick to death of being disregarded, cynically and sarcastically managed, and they've had enough. Now, we suspended one strike, and we gave them weeks and weeks to get this put right. I want to just make this point. On the 12th of September, we wrote to them and asked them for talks. They wouldn't come to the table till the 23rd, some 11 days later, Monday, and then spent the next 24 hours pretending they didn't know what it was about. Well, enough's enough.
All right. Well, the director of network operations says that they had agreed steps with your union to solve the dispute, and they were making good. They were making good. No, I've just got to get their point across, John Leach. I must get their points. And he says that they've been making quotes good progress in making these changes. The strike is unnecessary, and you, the union, need to reconsider the action. Back to you, John Leach.
He's living in a fantasy world, Mr. Holness. He doesn't live in the reality which his drivers do. And these are the men and women who I represent, and they're telling me they've had enough.
All right.
And therefore he should support them, not live in this kind of bubble where he doesn't really know what's going on.
Presumably you had to have a ballot for this, Mr. Leach, did you?
Yes, we did.
And what was the vote in favour of strike?
70%.
And how many of your staff voted in that?
Well over the threshold, so well over 50%. It was a very, very high threshold. We've met all the tests legally. We gave them nearly 2 weeks.
Hell of a lot of inconvenience for Londoners when almost half the staff couldn't be bothered to vote.
No, that's not true.
Well over 50. What's well over 50? Come on, what is it? It starts with a 5, doesn't it? Of course it does. Otherwise, you'd have said it was 60. So almost half the staff can't be bothered to vote, and you shut down one of the biggest lines for 2 days. Is that fair?
The train drivers on the Piccadilly line are fantastic people. They need to be backed up by their
wasn't
management.
The question. I agree with you. They're amazing men and women, and they have they have 500,000 people's safety in their hands every single day. They're a fantastic body of men and women.
They should be respected by the Piccadilly Line management and the
nearly
senior
half of them couldn't bother to vote, and we got no service for 2 days.
No, you're not. You're telling something that isn't true.
Well,
it was a completely legal.
Oh no, I agree. But 50% voted on.
Of the actual turnout?
Yeah, 51.
What do you want to know? The voting figures in the ballot?
Just the percentage, sir.
What, of those who voted?
Yeah, 50 what was it turned out for the vote? How many? 51?
Okay. We had a 71% yes vote.
Yeah. But how many people voted? The percentage who actually voted? The turnout?
Okay.
50...
The actual ballot turnout was 420 voted yes.
Yes.
Sorry, out of 420 members voting, 298 voted yes.
But what was
the figures stand for themselves.
Yes.
I haven't got that figure right to hand right now.
All right.
But
okay. All right.
The story here is that these men and women have had enough of being pushed about and should be supported by their management.
All right. I hear you. Thank you for your time, John.